We're driving a Ram 1500. It has been updated for 2025.
Here's how much the Ram 1500 costs.
The interior is flashier than I was expecting. The sparkle trim, multiple colors of stitching, lots of color on the door.
Arguably one of the most stylish door cards that I've seen in a good long while.
This is also a standout from a functionality standpoint. This center console has this shallow part right here, this huge bin right here, and this part is adjustable. In the door, there's a nook for your phone, a spot for cup holders that's removable.
In case you're like need a stress toy, you can just squeeze that thing.
There's also these narrow slots here, but careful putting your phone in there if it's not hooked to anything. It can be difficult to retrieve.
There's even a little like dash top nook right here. We also have a dedicated phone zone with like a zillion different ports. We have the optional dual wireless phone charging setup, which pairs nicely with the standard Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless functionality.
The seats are wide and a little on the firm side, but comfortable.
Something I always like when a car offers it is the front bench seat, and you can get that in your Ram 1500, but then you'd have to miss out on this super cool console. Which would you do, console or bench seat?
Console. There's so much room in the back for friends.
Not only do it fit very comfortably on the outboard position, but also inboard, and it's a completely flat floor. Kiddo, how do you find sitting back there?
I found it pretty good.
Can your feet touch the ground?
It's so big that not really.
Nonetheless, a lot of space back there. Also, you can flip up those seat bottoms and there's an underfloor area for storage. Rear vents, there are even more power ports. For both functionality and space, the Ram 1500 is really, really strong. Oh, and kid, what about climbing in and out of the Ram 1500?
It's a big step.
But luckily, you are a strong kid.
Yes, but you could be a lazy kid if we got one of the optional steps. I bet Sweetie would appreciate that.
I would have appreciated that.
There are grab handles though, both front and back, and for me that made it easier to climb aboard.
But I can't reach them.
That is a very good point, kiddo. Moving to the bed, it's kind of a simple bed. A couple of adjustable tie downs, part of a bed utility group. You got those bumper steps. So easy a child can do it. There's also a little step that deploys so you can climb in and out, and a spray-in bed liner.
I really appreciated how gently the tailgate revealed itself.
Powers down and up, and you can also do that with the fob. I'm so used to full-size pickup trucks that have so many whiz-bang technologies in the bed area. There is some of that. Ram, even though we don't have it here, does offer a multi-function tailgate. They also have the Ram box option, which includes storage along the bed sides.
Isn't it weird how if you have whiz and bang together, it just sounds like kind of fun and whimsical, but if you separate them, it just sounds dirty.
Those are the kind of insights you can only get from our channel. Our tester has the 5'7" bed, but there is also a 6'4" bed. Even though this is a smaller bed, I think for our purposes, that would be plenty of space to work with. What about the latch points?
The lower anchors are very easy to access, simple to install our booster.
If we had to, we don't. Our child has outgrown it. Aww, kiddo's getting older.
Ugh.
Oh no, and she's entered the teenage years. Now she thinks we're stupid.
You don't understand.
That's the stuff.
Speaking of whiny baby.
No, roll with it. Go with it. Go with it. Speaking of whiny babies.
I think there would be room for a rear-facing car seat back there.
As for safety, the IIHS has not yet rated the 2025 Ram 1500, nor has the NHTSA, though the 2024 rating, and this is very, very similar, was 5 stars overall for the crew cab and 4 stars overall for the quad cab. On the active safety front, we have a full suite of active driver assist technology, including blind spot warning standard. Plus, we have 6 airbags. Family, what do we think? Is the Ram 1500 family friendly?
Family friendly.
Family friendly.
Big time family friendly. Rear window test. Whoa, all the way down.
Way down.
Bam. Armrest test, driving in a comfortable 8 and 4, very easy access to the inboard and outboard armrests, although a little bit easier coming inboard, and a very solid squish factor, 90% inboard, 80% outboard. Onward to style.
There are serious brawny truck vibes here.
Now, is it just me and my raw masculinity kind of wafting across the cabin here, or is it the truck?
That's definitely helping.
Yeah, I'll just be over here flexing and stuff. Okay, carry on.
You know what else is flexing? These huge mirrors.
Ooh.
I think they might be bigger than my cat.
But your cat's not going to help you tow a heavy load.
You know what else will help you tow is that big engine. In fact, it's so big it looks like it's bulging right out of the hood.
Good design. It not only looks cool, but it also gives a sense of purpose. When I look at the Ram 1500, I think, well, there's a capable, tough pickup truck. In terms of body style, so there's the quad cab, which is the smaller option, and then there's the crew cab, which is bigger. Interestingly, the quad cab only comes on the 2 lowest trims. The quad cab only comes with that 6'4" bed, and then the crew cab can either come with a 5'7" or the 6'4" bed. To us, the Ram 1500 looks like a Ram 1500 ought to, but what do you think? Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Tell us in the comments. Before we move on, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, maybe buying a pair of Flying Eye sunglasses. Whatever you do to support us, thank you. I point aggressively. Moving onward to...
Thank you.
Have they been thanked enough?
I think so.
I don't think so.
Kiddo, hit him with the thanks.
Thanks, 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 thanks.
Moving on to In Motion. Our tester has the optional air suspension, raises it up, lowers it down, a 5-link live rear axle and back, independent front suspension. Ride quality, it feels quite comfortable in here. One shortcoming I found, there's a very bumpy stretch of freeway that I experienced, and I found notable amount of bounciness in the Ram over that environment. As for steering, I found relatively low limits, which is not surprising. It drives like a truck. Adjust your expectations accordingly. We do have a few different drive modes. There's a sport mode. It doesn't make it notably sportier, but keep your expectations aligned with the vehicle. Let's use the brakes. Sometimes, especially on larger trucks, they can have like a wooden feel, but I find this is pretty easy to control. And let me see if I can come to a nice smooth stop. What do we think?
Pretty good.
I noticed from the 1-2 to the 2-3 shift, it wasn't quite as smooth in a couple of occasions as maybe some of the other gear changes. But unless you're really scrutinizing the transmission, it operates fine in terms of shift quality. We have the inline 6-cylinder, 3-liter engines, twin turbocharged. That is one of the new things for 2025. One of the cool things about an inline 6-cylinder engine, it doesn't make a lot of vibrations, so you get just this kind of velvety acceleration feel. Oh, and then for off-roading with the air suspension, you can get more than 10 inches of ground clearance. I also like that Ram makes a limited slip differential available for like $500. I would totally get that if I have any off-road aspirations. That said, for 2025, there is a new off-road focused RHO trim. 35-inch tires, beadlock capable wheels, raised off-road Bilstein suspension, skid plates for bashing around. Take that, nature. All right, that's enough of me talking about driving the Ram 1500. What does Sweetie think? Before we get moving, Sweetie, how do you find this seating position?
The pedals move forward, the seat raises, it tilts. They did a good job of adding adjustability to make somebody the size I am able to fit comfortably here.
Well, with that commanding position, haul that direction. How's that power off the line?
We have a lot of blind corners on our curvy mountain roads, and that is extremely confidence inspiring.
You're weaving, is that for fun, or did part of your brain stop working?
It seems like there's a little bit of play in the wheel, and I was just trying to figure out how much.
How do you find maneuvering this thing? Is it going approximately where you hope?
Actually, the steering is fine.
By size, do you find this thing unwieldy?
I hate how big it is. I'll be honest.
It's not just about dimensions, it's how it feels.
So much of what is in my field of vision is bulky.
You got the hood bulge over there, you got very thick A-pillars, and then the mirror situation.
Oh my gosh, the mirrors are really tough for visibility around corners.
Ironic, isn't it? That the feature that's supposed to give you more visibility is impeding your visibility. If we were towing, you would love those. We are not towing.
Over my right shoulder is surprisingly good. Over my left shoulder, though, there's a thick pillar here.
If we were in the market for a full-size pickup truck, are there any game killers that would keep you from driving a Ram 1500?
No game killers, but because of visibility concerns, I really don't enjoy driving a vehicle this large.
That's what Evie thinks. I'm getting back in the driver's seat. Let's move on to remarks. The standard screen is an 8.4-inch screen on lower trims, then there's an optional 12-inch unit, and then there's a new for 2025 14.5-inch screen, although there's some disagreement between the press release and the consumer sites where they call it a 14.4-inch screen. A greater than 14-inch screen graces our cabin here.
There are so many different apps available, it's kind of overwhelming. What really makes this infotainment work well, in my opinion, is the fact that it is so customizable. You can add your favorite shortcuts to the home screen, commonly used shortcuts along the bottom of the screen.
Is this too much screen?
I think it works.
Well, then let me make a complaint.
Okay.
Because of the vertical orientation, because it's so huge, there's nowhere really to anchor your thumb. Some of that is exacerbated by the fact that some of the icons on here are pretty dang small. The button for pulling up the cameras, I don't know why it's so tiny with this big a screen. Another common screen note from you is when they have a screen for the passenger, you don't understand why it's there.
This vehicle is so large, it seems nice to have my own screen over here.
There's also like a parallax screen on the screen. I can't really see what you see over there. But yeah, you're right.
Oh my.
Well, I have no idea what's going on. I don't even want to know about it. We do have the optional 360-degree camera system, and they really fling a lot of views at you. You also have the ability to add auxiliary cameras. That's the kind of visibility that is really, really helpful. Towing and when you're driving off-road. Over in front of me, we've got an optional 12-inch screen. Shows a ton of different information. Very highly customizable. Again, though, there are a couple of icons that are kind of small. I feel like if you have this much screen space, make the numbers and letters big. Now let's take a peek under the hood in a test inspired by my buddy Brian. This is how you open the hood on a Ram 1500. The release is not necessarily where you'd expect it. Here's where you add oil. Over on the right side, that's where you add the washer fluid. As it turns out, only the base V6 has the dipstick. If you go with the inline 6-cylinder Hurricane engine, you can check the oil level in the gauge cluster. Many Ram 1500 buyers will want to tow with their rigs, and to that end, there are a range of optional features which might be worth adding. Integrated trailer brake controller, trailer steering if you never wanted to learn how to back up with a trailer. They also have a feature where the vehicle will automatically guide itself to the trailer hitch. And then of course convex mirrors that you can extend out. For towing, that is excellent functionality and visibility. Speaking of, I talk a lot about the functionality and visibility afforded by Flying Eye sunglasses, but they also make eyeglasses for folks who need prescription eyewear.
Folks like me. My 9X glasses are comfortable to wear and super adorable.
And patented Resilimite construction means they're light, bendable, and able to absorb the kind of abuse only a 9-year-old can dish out.
Rawr. And check out these cool magnetic tinted lenses.
If you're in the market for eyewear and you want to help support our channel, there's a link in the description below where you can learn more about
Flying Eyes. That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Flying Eyes.
Really good job. In the beginning of the video, we mentioned that the Ram 1500 had been updated for 2025. There's an optional hands-free driver assist feature. Ours doesn't have it, but we would love to check it out. Then there are some new trims. We have the RHO trim, which we already talked about, which is off-road focused. There's a new top-tier trim called Kiddo. Pay attention. There's a tungsten trim.
Tungsten, tungsten, I need tungsten to live.
As a parent, I can't tell you how happy it makes me that my daughter knows classic Simpsons quotes. Kiddo, I love you.
You don't understand me.
Even when you're a moody teenager, I still love you. Other 2025 updates include that big old center screen, that new screen for Sweetie, and then an updated engine lineup. The base engine is a 3.6 liter V6. It's got a 48-volt hybrid system. It's found on the 2 lowest trims. Then there's the new for 2025 3-liter inline 6-cylinder twin turbocharged engine that's standard on the Rebel and Laramie trims, and optional on the 2 lower trims for $2,700. Premium fuel is recommended. Then there's also a high output version of that 3-liter inline 6, and it comes standard on the 4 highest trims. For all 3 engines, an 8-speed automatic transmission comes standard. And if you want 4-wheel drive, that'll be $3,850. For tow, with that high output inline 6, it peaks at 11,580 pounds. For 2025, Ram has also introduced some electrified versions of the 1500. The 1500 Rev, it's an all-electric version of the pickup truck with up to 500 miles of range and super fast 800-volt DC fast charging. And then there's the Ram 1500 Ram Charger, which is a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with a 92 kilowatt-hour battery pack, paired with a 3.6-liter V6 that only functions as a generator. Essentially, the Ram Charger functions like a freight train.
Sweetie.
Uh-huh.
Will you please share our trim recommendation?
I certainly will. Our trim recommendation is which trim will give you the essential Ram 1500 features you'd regret not getting, but at the lowest possible price. Based on Ram's configurator, it looks like the Laramie trim is the lowest trim to offer keyless access, or as Ram calls it, passive entry and lock. That is a more expensive trim than we'd prefer to recommend, but in the modern world, it's weird to press unlock to access a car on a fob. The Laramie also comes with heated and ventilated 10-way power front seats, dual zone climate control, a 12-inch touchscreen, and that 420 horsepower 3-liter Hurricane inline 6-cylinder. If you're ready to buy a Ram 1500 of your very own, click the Kelley Blue Book pricing link in the description below to learn what your current car is worth for trade-in and what you should spend on a Ram 1500. As for competitors, we got icons like the Ford F-150, Chevy Silverado, there's also the Nissan Titan, and the Toyota Tundra. Did we miss any remarks? If so, tell us in the comment section. And now it is our daughter's time to shine. Child, can you tell us what is your favorite feature of the Ram 1500?
The sparkly paint.
I love that we got a big, manly truck that's ready to go to work and ready to dish out a heap and helping of chicken productivity, I suppose. And then it's like, of course, you have to have the sparkly paint over here. It really sparkles.
It's very fun.
Yeah.
It would be better if it was rainbowy.
New for 2026, the Ram 1500 Unicorn Edition. Around here, if it doesn't sparkle, it doesn't work. Family, I think we've done a good job reviewing the Ram 1500. May I have a 5? Way over there. And a 5? Way over there. And you! Come get your high five. Bam! And now please enjoy our AI-generated Ram 1500 synopsis song.
In my Ram 1500, I feel so mighty. It's perfect for the job and for the family. It's tidy, but that price tag, oh man, it cuts so deep. The love so true, yet out of reach.